Greetings friends, welcome! In this video, I'll be showing you how I created this book look body paint for The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. For this book look, I was hugely inspired by the cover art as well as the overall imagery of the world and the characters in it. So if you're interested in how I put it all together or even recreating it, please keep watching. First thing I'm going to do is block my brows. For this, I like to use just a regular washable glue stick, working that into and all over my brows before flattening them down with a spatula and setting them with some Ben Nye translucent setting powder. I repeated this process over and over until my brows were completely flat, blocked out, and dry. Next, I'm priming my lids with Sephora Beauty Amplifier Eyeshadow Primer, placing it all over my lid as well as underneath my eyes. I'm also priming all over my face with e.l.f. Poreless Primer. I'm using IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Compact SPF Foundation in the color Tan, only on my face as I'll be painting my neck and chest later on. I'm dipping into NYX SFX Cream Color in white to cover up my brows a little bit, and also to highlight and whiten my forehead, cheeks, and nose. Here, I'm just setting all over my face using the same Ben Nye translucent powder I used earlier. Using Morphe's James Charles palette, I'm dipping into Playground, swiping that all over above the crease of my lid. I'm also going to be dipping into Acappella and then Escape, layering them to darken up the inner corner of my brow and the outer corner above my crease. I'm also smudging the colors under my eye, dragging the color down to give a watery, runny, teary eye effect. Dipping into Hello and then Artistry, I'm layering these shimmer shadows on top of their corresponding colors just to add some extra shimmer. Using my e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer in Light, I'm carving out and cleaning up the centermost parts of my eyelids. With the Magic Palette by Juvia's Place, I'm packing on Umoja with a wet packer brush onto that carved out portion of my eye. I'm also dipping into Ife from the Magic Palette, blending it into the outer corner of my eyes. I'm also blending in a little bit of Spooky from the James Charles palette to darken and deepen wherever I placed Ife from the Magic Palette. With some blue and black body paint by Mehron Paradise Paints, I'm roughly filling out my brow shape. I'm not being too clean with this, just getting the general shape, as I'll be covering them up with some rhinestones, pearls, and glitter later on. Going back into the Magic Palette, I'm using Yajide to carve out and contour my cheekbones and forehead, but also to add some color to the rest of my face. I'm also adding and blending in a little bit of Escape from the James Charles palette on top of that contour as well. Using a NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, I'm marking out where I want the crescent moon from the book cover to frame my eye. I'm also using NYX Cream Color in Silver to trace over and fill in the body of the crescent moon. With a little bit of the same blue and black body paint I used earlier, I'm outlining the moon and defining the final shape. Dipping into some Mehron metallic powder in silver, I'm setting the silver cream paint and giving the moon some extra metallic shine. I'm also using the same black eyeshadow from earlier to further outline around the moon. The moon on the cover has some small hash marks on the design, so with some black body paint and a very thin detailing brush, I'm just recreating those hash marks onto the moon that I just painted. Here, I'm using Yejida again from the Magic Palette to contour my nose a little bit, and I'm also using Hello from the James Charles palette to highlight my cheekbones, nose, chin, forehead, and Cupid's bow. To recreate the book cover design on my chest, I'm using the same blue body paint by Mehron, covering my entire chest, neck, shoulders, and parts of my arms. I'm working in layers here, letting the layers dry in between as I build up the color and opacity as I layer. I'm also dipping into the same black body paint, shading and darkening under my chin and the outer portions of my body like my shoulders and the bottom part of my chest. I'm then going to set all of that with the same Ben Nye translucent setting powder before sweeping it all off with a super fluffy powder brush. Going back in with Acappella from the James Charles palette, I'm highlighting my collarbones, neck, chest, and shoulders to give some extra dimension to my body and what I just painted. Using the cap of one of my body paint pots, I'm tracing out the pentagram from the cover onto the middle of my chest. I'm also going to be going back in with the Silver SFX Cream color by NYX to trace over the pentagram. Using that same silver cream color, I'm tracing out the branches from the cover onto my chest and shoulders. This took some time, so I think this would be a good time to talk about the book! So, The Wicked Deep takes place in a town called Sparrow, Oregon, where 200 years ago, 3 sisters named the Swan Sisters were drowned for witchcraft. Every year after their drowning, the Swan Sisters mysteriously return, luring young boys into the ocean before drowning them. It's super morbid, but I love it. The story follows 17-year-old Penny Talbot, and on the eve of this year's swan season, outsider Beau Carter comes into town without any knowledge of the Swan Sisters' curse or the danger that he's in. So Penny must choose between protecting herself and her secrets, or choosing to protect this new mysterious newcomer named Beau. I absolutely loved The Wicked Deep, and if you want to know more about what I thought about the book and see my reactions while I was reading it, check out my book talk video in the link below. Anyways, because the bottom half of me was so vibrant in color, I wanted to retouch my face just to balance everything else. So with the same blue body paint, I'm just blending that into my cheeks, as well as tracing out some more of the branches from the cover. I'm also darkening up my forehead, tracing out more of those branches, but painting them downward to frame my face. Onto my favorite step of any look, glitter! Here I'm using Lit Cosmetics Daily Glitter Primer to apply some iridescent white craft glitter all over the branches that I just painted. For the chunky craft glitter you see me placing here, I used clear duo lash glue, placing them randomly around my eyes. With a little bit of lash glue, I'm using my finger to place this loose light purple glitter on the outer corners of my eyes as well as down my cheeks. Next, I'm dipping into this scaly blue craft glitter, dabbing and pressing the glitter in randomly around my face and body with more lash glue. At this point, I was just rating whatever sequins, rhinestones, and glitter I had in my kit, and I realized that I hadn't opened up these purple and black craft sequins packs. So, here I'm doing the same thing, placing them randomly all around my face and my body. I'm also using these iridescent craft rhinestones as well, placing those randomly all over my face and my body. You can never have too much glitter and rhinestones. Just have fun with it, put it everywhere. I also had varying sizes of craft pearls as well, so ya betcha, I stuck those onto me as well, concentrating the smaller pearls near my face and the bigger ones on my body. Also, just a disclaimer, if you see me talking in the footage, I actually stream my book looks on Twitch and Instagram Live at the time that I film them, so if you see me talking, I'm talking to the people on Twitch and on IG Live. If you ever want to join me, check out the links below. I try to stream a new book look every Tuesday on Twitch and on IG Live. Hope to see you there! Dipping into Lit Cosmetics loose glitter in Ice Queen as well as their glitter base, I'm packing some of that onto the center of my lids to be even more shinier than I already am. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes, then top them off with some Ardell Wispy lashes on the top and bottom lash line. Off camera, I sprayed my hair with some temporary silver hair color spray and used some of my silver body paint to cover up and blend in my roots. I also lined and covered my lips with NK Auto Lip Liner in Dark Orchid with a little bit of silver eyeshadow on the center of my bottom lip, popped in some white out contacts, and we're done! And that's pretty much it for how I created this book look for The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. It was super fun to paint and even more fun to read. I highly recommend reading it. The imagery and her writing style are just so breathtaking. This is easily one of my favorite books of this year. If you've read The Wicked Deep, please let me know in the comments down below, and if you haven't yet, please feel free to check out my book talk on The Wicked Deep, and thank you for joining me! I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! I wanted to give a big thank you yet again to my partner in crime, the stylist, to my brush, Leo P. Carney, for collabing with me for this book look. To everyone watching, please show Leo's artistry some love. I'll be providing his handles in the information box down below. I also wanted to thank my patrons on Patreon, especially Peppermint65. Thank you, Miss Patty, for all the love and for always supporting my work. If you're interested in becoming a patron, please check out my Patreon down below.